Hello and welcome, coaches, to the Field House, the place where coaches can get together, collaborate, teach, and learn from other coaches who love the game. Please like, subscribe, and comment below to help grow this channel and also give us an idea of what kind of content you would like to see here at the Field House. Today we have our coach of the day. Coach Kerry Norman comes to us from Elkin, North Carolina. At Elkin High, he's the wide receivers coach at Elkin High School, and today he's going to be talking to us about the tunnel screens. I'm excited, hope you are. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Hey coaches, we're here with Coach Kerry Norman from Elkin. That's Elkin High School, right? Elkin High School in Elkin, North Carolina. And they've actually been out practicing. Before he gets into his tunnel sweep or tunnel screen presentation, we're going to talk to him about what his experience was with COVID-19 practicing. Go ahead, Coach.
All right, well, thanks, Coach. Actually, it's really kind of a cool thing. Our superintendent and our AD, we're a city school, so it's only us as opposed to other counties. So they came up, and once the state said you can go back to work last Monday, we did, and we've put in all kinds of precautions of keeping kids 6 feet apart and wiping down things between uses and doing pods and groups and all this kind of stuff. Things I never thought I'd have to do as a coach, like taking temperatures of kids before every practice. But, you know, those state guidelines that came out, we followed them, and we're doing that. We had to get a little creative because obviously we can't throw a ball to each other. So we set up some screens, like big square screens, and the quarterbacks threw into those as the receivers ran routes. And all the receivers and skill kids did some conditioning before. And our head coach, Coach Wood, said, "Why don't you just keep the quarterbacks?" Because our normal quarterbacks coach is on vacation. He said, "You get them warmed up and ready to go." And I said, "Okay." He said, "Well, we won't have them run." Well, they did their running because every time they threw a ball, they had to go get it. So, they were the only person touching the ball. We kept the social distance thing, but it's kind of cool. I spoke with Coach Wood earlier today, and I said that it feels normal. It's so much fun to be able to be back at football practice, even with all the restrictions and the limitations. It's fun to be back in football. So.
Sounds good, Coach. I'm jealous because our county, and we're both in the state of North Carolina, but like he said, he's in a county that has allowed them to go back to practice, and we are waiting till July 6th, hopefully, to go back and be able to go back to workouts in this phase 1 thing. And I'm looking forward definitely to get back to our kids. We're missing them right now. I just had a Google Meet with our quarterback, and he's ready to go. They're excited. So,
oh yeah, that was our kid.
Without further ado, we're going to give it over to Coach Norman. He's going to share his screen, and then he's going to talk to you about tunnel screens. You got it, Coach.
Awesome. So let me go ahead and get up and get started. Minimize this a little bit. You see everything pretty good coming through? I know it's loading.
Yes, I do. You're cool. Good. I'm trying to.
All right, so I actually got my start at Western Harnett, and that's how Coach Weathersby and I know each other. We both were there at different times and worked with some of the same staff. But there, and when I came to Elkin, it was two totally different kind of ways of thinking offensively. And they were kind of doing this when I got there, and I've really kind of fallen in love with it a lot about the tunnel screen and how we're pretty good at getting the ball on that tunnel screen and getting positive yards out of it. And as I sat down and talked with our head coach, over the past couple of years, he really emphasized something, and I'll get into it with the presentation about why we're so good at it. So let me give you a little bit. There's my contact info if anybody needs it. Best way to get a hold of me. I saw your other coach on your channel, Coach, and it's for me too. If you get me on Twitter, if you have any questions, that's the best way to kind of get up with me. I'll be happy to help, whatever. A little background about me. That's where I was my 2 stops I've been. I started as the assistant O-line coach under Coach Simpson at Western Harnett, and then my second year was the wide receivers coach, and I've come to Elkin and been the wide receivers coach for now. This is getting ready to be my 4th year. So Uh, the school itself, they're a little 1A school. It's a lot different. Coach Wesby and I've talked before about how when we were at a 3A school and you got kids playing one side of the ball, you can do a whole lot. But with Elkin, there's 350 kids in the entire school, and that's a different animal. It's not good nor bad. It's just a different animal. And we are traditionally been a power run zone scheme kind of thing with some option mixed in and play action. So, that's kind of been the go-to. And prior to Coach Wood being there, Coach Grissom, they were split back veer, exclusively split back veer. So it's kind of molded and formed over the years, and it's just kind of cool. So why the tunnel? 2 years before I got to Elkin, Coach Wood and I were talking about this before, and he said that he didn't have dominant linemen like they traditionally have had. They didn't have those kids that you could just line up and run power and mash people. That's every coach's, well, not every coach's, that's most coaches' dream. So they kind of got into the spread look and got out there and ran, and it attacks the same zone as your stretch and your outside zone, which at Elkin we are real big on those zones and huddles where we're attacking. So, zones 1 and zone 3 on that huddle breakdown, whatever, is the same. So it's for us, it's another way to quote unquote run the ball. It gets our skill kids involved in space, and it's a pretty safe throw and a high completion percentage. So I've not done all the numbers to see what we've done since I've been there, but it's been pretty daggone successful. A lot of, like most schools, we have about 3 hours offense a week. We have a screen period on Tuesdays, which is 10 to 15 minutes. The big point of emphasis here is everything is based on 3 steps, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit. The big difference is I think there's a lot of people that run wide receiver screens and tunnel screens and things like that. But the big difference in little 1A football, I think, is that our linemen are very involved in our screen game. I think it's great that people want to run screens, but if you don't have those big uglies out there repping it, you can't expect them to do it in a game. So we do some drills in the summertime, and every week there's a point of emphasis on your footwork and things like that. So I've actually got a couple of little videos. This is what our tackle is, and I'll get more into this as we go, but this is kind of what our drill looks like. Now in the season, it has people with, you've got defense out here, or at least people with bags, but in the summertime, we kind of can get into this a little bit, and I'll talk about their point of emphasis as we go. We're faking our zone, and that's our tackles. I'll let that run again. And our guard and center, and I'll talk about the whole alignment of it when we get into some film cut-ups. I just wanted you guys to see this. All right. And then our quarterback footwork is kind of a big deal. And you'll see this is all on 3-step. Again, we'll talk about that as we get into it. But I just wanted you to see that. If you guys have any questions about that, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to kind of show you those videos. But as we get into our cut-ups. So what I wanted to show you was how all this is actually from my first year. And there's like 4 or 5 different clips that I'll show just to talk about different things. So we're going to run this tunnel up here. So this kid is going to go 3 up and 3 back. He's pressing vertical for 3 and kicking out whatever shows. Our linemen are doing that drill we just showed right here. They're going zone left, and he's going to get second most dangerous. Your guard is wrapping, and your center is picking up any trash that's there. And the key to all this is getting a good fake out of the quarterback here. So we're going zone here. Oh, well, let me draw anymore. Going zone, getting his depth, and hitting the tunnel. So if it's a little choppy, I apologize, but I'll let it run a couple times. So you see we've kind of got the corner taken care of, so there's no really number 2. So our tackle's going to kind of clean up. We should have a clean up, a log here and a log here, and we're off to the races. And this kid right here that's running is not a super fast electric kid. But because we got him the ball in some space with some linemen out in front of him, that's a big 30-yard gain. You know, if it's a kid who's elite, then that's a touchdown. So this is from this year. And what's cool about this is the difference. This quarterback threw for over 3,000 yards. This quarterback is the one we've had the last 2 years, is not a great passer. He's probably thrown for 1,000 yards each year, but is an elite runner. So, and we still get the same completion. So the reason I pulled this clip was, number one, to talk about that. But number two, I know all you defensive coaches are going, well, I'll just sit on number two and create problems. Well, what we teach our slot receiver here is you have most dangerous, whatever the most dangerous is. If this corner is sitting up in some sort of 3 look or something like that, and he's bailing hard, and this guy's sitting in your face, well, then simply take him, and the tackle can adjust. You know, this corner usually, if they're bailing that hard, runs themselves out of the play anyway. So what this one on this clip, our slot takes number two. He's the most dangerous. Tackle kind of gets out, helps out, and then just all you need those big dudes to do is get in the way. It doesn't have to be an elite, like a pancake block. Just get in the way, get your skill kid the ball in some space, and let them go. And that's a big play. Here's another one. This kid, I want to pick this clip because our tackle actually falls here, but because this kid's bailing so hard and they're sitting in that 3 look, that it doesn't make a difference. You know, if you watch these linebackers here, they're flowing so hard with the zone because our linemen do a decent job here of taking their zone steps that they can't recover. I mean, that's an easy throw. That's what, 9 yards? That's a 9-yard throw straight ahead. You know, you get any quarterback on your team can make that throw, and we turn it into a 60-yard gain. So this one right here, well, what if there's number 2 is apexed? Well, what should happen, I've seen your channel, Coach Weathersby, is I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. What should happen with this kid right here, because we're again going zone this way. He's pushing vertical, blocking there. He's taking his steps and getting up in this tunnel. What should happen is this right here should kick. When this guy widens, he should kick. And you still got your same log here and a log here. That's what your tunnel should be. It's just going to be a little more narrow. But our tackle doesn't see that. And actually what he does is he misses it. So now this guy right here, this can create a problem. You know, this guy's playing in space. We get a little lucky here that he sees it a little late, overruns it, and now we've still got that same funnel effect. But when I was talking to Coach Wood about this whole thing and about what he thought about some of this stuff was, well, that simply says, all right, you give us a 3-2 box, and we should be able to run the ball and it not be a problem. He said, I kind of dare people to get in that kind of front because then we know that we should be able to run the football. And as much as Coach Weathersby likes to, pick on me, I do enjoy running the football. So, but this kid kind of overruns it a little bit. And luckily we catch a break there. So our tackle should have kicked backer here, log here, center clean up any trash, and we still got a good play. I mean, again, not an elite speed kind of kid right here, but he sure looks pretty quick. So now the next little wrinkle off of this is we noticed last year, this is a 3rd-round playoff game last year, we noticed last year that there were so many people that were starting to key on us because our run game, like I said, or our pass game was heavy rollout. A lot of times we were throwing to the side, we were rolling to, and so they would start keying on this back right here. So a little wrinkle that we had, and it doesn't change anything up front, except our linemen now block our rollout protection. They should block here. They're rolling out. And you see this kid is not going 1, 2, 3 and back. What he was coached to do and what he did was he was shuffling this way. When he saw the quarterback's back, he was shuffling 1, 2, 3, coming right back where he came from. And just watch these linebackers here. They just flowed so hard because they just overcommitted. All it took was a couple steps, and we raise up and throw it the other way. And these are those same 2 kids that I just showed you in the video during the PowerPoint, putting that drill to use. Did a good job. Now he kind of gets in the way a little bit because the kid falls, but they do a good job of keeping their feet going. And actually the big tackle here picks up another block at the end. So another little wrinkle. And then everybody's favorite play. This is, again, my first year. This was a kid that was more of a passer, was the double move off of it. So the only difference was we tell our kids here, our linemen, obviously, they're not getting out in the protection. They are going more of our 3 and 5 step protection. So got to really sell zone. I think they're playing some sort of read concept here because he really drives on that ball. And now we got our kid running up the sideline with nobody around him. So that's kind of the, we use the tunnel in a lot of different ways. It's not so much just about getting, raising up and throwing a little tunnel screen or a now screen or whatever. We actually get the big boys involved. And that's kind of the thing that we always really stress to our kids is if we rep this and we do this right, this could be a really good play for us. And it's really not very complicated at all. It's getting all of our kids involved. It's getting them where they're supposed to be. It's getting the ball out on time. Everything is based off those 3 steps. So, I'll draw it up here. We got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, quarterbacks 1, 2, 3, and it's all an easy completion. So that's kind of what I wanted to just give you a little quick video. I'll share the screen back to Coach Weathersby here. That's kind of where I wanted to go with that and let you see what we think at Elkin and how we kind of prepare it. So I hope I did a decent job there, Coach. Oh,
it was great, Coach. I appreciate it. Like I said, give us your contact information again, Coach.
Yep. Let me pull that screen back
just
up.
Just your Twitter.
Yeah, it's at Kerry B. Norman.
Right.
If you want to do that, throw me a follow on there. I'll be happy to help in whatever way I can.
All right. Coach Norman from Elkin High School. Thanks for being with us on the Field House. Guys, please like, subscribe, and comment below if you want to see more videos like this. And our coach of the day, Coach Kerry Norman. Thank you, Coach, and see you next time on the Field House.